the modern age, banking has become the foundation of economic development. Without banks, business cannot be imagined. So, without banks, we can't think even a single step of business, because we know that all the services that are given in the business, in that services, one of the main service is banking services. So today we will discuss about banks and different type of banking services. Before starting this lecture, I would like to tell you about the bank and what a bank does in day-to-day life of normal person or a businessman's life. So let us start. Here I have drawn a figure. Suppose this is a bank and here is a person. He has surplus money with him. So he want to invest his money in any area. So he has surplus funds. He discussed with his friends that where to invest the money or where to store the surplus amount. So his friend said that he should give the money to bank, because bank provide different type of services to the different sectors of the society. So this person having surplus funds, this person goes to bank and deposit his amount in the bank. So bank tells him about the different type of accounts that we are going to discuss in further video lessons, that what type of accounts we handle in bank. So bank provides facilities to the customer of saving account, fixed deposit account, recurring account and current account to a businessman. So bank provide different type of accounts. So he has surplus money. So bank tells him that the persons employed in the bank, they tell him that these are the accounts we are having and you can deposit your money in the bank, either one of these accounts. So this person deposits his account in the fixed deposit, and after certain period of time this person receives his principal amount as well as interest. So bank pays interest on the deposits by a person in the bank. So if a person is depositing into bank the amount, so the bank provide the facility of interest to the person. So interest is given by bank to the customers, but the rate or the percentage of interest is different from account to account. So this person get happy and he got his principal amount after a certain period of time, after the expiry of stipulated period, that is of fixed deposit, and that person receives principal amount as well as interest. Here is one more person. He wants to build his house. So he has not even funds with him, sufficient funds he has not. So he approaches to bank, and then bank gives him loan, and after certain period of time when he is able to pay back the loan amount, or after a stipulated period, he gives the loan amount back to bank and the interest that is given to the bank also. So this is the interest that the person is giving on the loan amount, whether this interest is different. This is given by bank to the customer, and this interest is the interest that a customer is being paid to the bank. So this interest is paying by the customer to the bank. So these are the facilities that these two persons, I have given the example. Just like these persons, many persons are there, just like farmers, just like industrialists and businessmen too. So these are the part of society. These persons, they get facilities from bank, and bank takes the advantage of interest. So interest charged, these are the earnings of banks. So how does a bank earn? If we think these are all are the commercial banks, they fixed deposits they do, and they take the advances, and they give the advances and loans to the customers. So how they earn? If we think how the bank earn, कैसे कमाई करता है एक बैंक, तो हम यहाँ देखते हैं कि हमारे पास बैंक के पास इस पर्सन को इंटरेस्ट जो है वो मिल रहा है, बट ये अगर लोन ले रहा है एक पर्सन तो उसे इंटरेस्ट बैंक को देना पड़ रहा है। तो अगर इंटरेस्ट बैंक के पास जा रहा है, यहाँ जो इंटरेस्ट बैंक को लोन के ऊपर प्रोवाइड किया जाता है, मतलब इस पर्सन को लोन के ऊपर जो इंटरेस्ट बैंक को देना होता है वो लेट से इट इज 50% और ये 15%, और ये इंटरेस्ट जो होता है वो ज़्यादा होता है बैंक के द्वारा दिए जाते इंटरेस्ट को। तो अगर हम इनको और इस इंटरेस्ट को अगर कंपेयर करते हैं, दोनों इंटरेस्ट को अगर हम कंपेयर करते हैं तो ये इंटरेस्ट कम होता है। तो बैंक हमें बेनिफिट्स देता है, उसके बदले में एक पर्सन इंटरेस्ट देता है। इसी तरह अगर हम बैंक में डिपॉजिट्स करवाते हैं तो वो इंटरेस्ट फिर उस पर्सन को मिलता है जिसने डिपॉजिट्स करवाए हैं। तो एक तरह से देखा जाए तो ये सोसाइटी का ही जो अमाउंट है वो ही सोसाइटी के लिए यूज होता है। तो ये डिपॉजिट्स जो है इस पर्सन के, देखा जाए तो अगर इस पर्सन को प्रोवाइड हो गए तो बदले में उसके बैंक ने इंटरेस्ट चार्ज भी किया है और इंटरेस्ट रिसीव भी किया है। तो इसमें जो डिफरेंस है दोनों में, दैट मीन्स कि इतना तो अमाउंट बैंक ले रहा है एज ए इंटरेस्ट, सो इतना अमाउंट इंटरेस्ट दे रहा है बैंक। तो दोनों का जो डिफरेंस होगा 15% एंड 10%, जो 5% होगा वो बैंक की अर्निंग्स होती हैं। सो हाउ अ बैंक वर्क्स, this is the procedure. Briefly I have told you that like this a bank does his work, and there are different type of banks. So we will discuss today the different types of banks. On the basis of ownership, banks can be classified into three categories. First is public sector bank. If we talk about public sector banks, we know that the way public word comes, so it means it is owned by government up to minimum 51%. The government alone controls them, and the main objective of these type of banks is social welfare of the society. So these are called public sector banks. Some of public sector banks are given here, just like Bank of Baroda, Bank of India, Bank of Maharashtra, Central Bank of India, Indian Bank, Oriental Bank of Commerce, Punjab National Bank, and many other banks. These all are in the public sector banks. If we talk about the second type of bank on the basis of ownership, this is private sector bank. The private sector banks are those banks which are owned and controlled by the private sector or some individuals. In India, banks like Jammu and Kashmir Bank Limited, HDFC Bank Limited, etc. are private sector banks. Control of any individual or body on these banks depends on the number of shares held by that individual or private body. The main objective of these type of private sector banks is to earn profit. Here is the list of some private sector banks. In this list, we can see Axis Bank is there, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank, Yes Bank, and many other banks are there. Third one is cooperative banks. The cooperative banks are those banks which are organized by the group of individuals The main objective of these banks is to help its members. The State Cooperative Bank, the District Cooperative Bank, and the primary loan societies are included in the cooperative banks. Next type of classification is on the basis of function. So if we see the classification on the basis of function, we have first type of bank, that is commercial bank. These banks accept the deposits from general public and provide short-term loans to manufacturers and traders. Besides this, these banks perform various agency functions for their customers. These banks pay lesser amount as interest on deposits while charge higher interest on the amount lent. So the difference between these two interests is the main source of their income. There are two types of commercial banks. The first one is foreign commercial bank and the second one is Indian commercial bank. So the foreign commercial banks are the banks which are based in some foreign country but have a branch in India. All these banks provide the facility of foreign exchange also, just like Standard Chartered Bank, Bank of America, Citibank, Royal Bank of Scotland are the examples of foreign exchange, foreign commercial banks. If we talk about Indian commercial banks, those banks which are based in India are called the Indian commercial banks. So these are of two types. One is public sector banks and the other is private sector banks. Next type of bank is Industrial Development Bank. The Industrial Development Bank are those banks which give medium term or long term loans to industries. These banks help in establishing new industrial units. These banks help in selling of shares and debentures of company, also purchase themselves and very often perform the job of underwriting also. They usually provide loan for purchasing land, plant, machinery, etc. In India, these banks can be classified in two categories. One is national level, IDBI, SIDBI, IFCI, ICICI. These all are on national level. 4 banks are here that are on the national level, and these all are industrial development banks. And if we talk about on state level, there are 2 banks that are State Finance Corporation and State Industrial Development Corporation. These 2 are the state level industrial development bank. Next one is the Agricultural Bank. Agricultural banks are those banks which provide loan primarily for agricultural works. In agriculture, short-term loans are required for purchasing seeds, fertilizers, etc., while long-term loans are required for land, tractors, etc. The banks which provide loans to this sector are classified in 2 categories further. One is the cooperative banks and the other is the land development bank. The cooperative banks are the banks those provide short-term loans to agriculture sector. These banks work like the commercial banks, but the structure and ownership pattern are different from that of commercial banks. These are of further 3 types: state cooperative banks, central cooperative banks, primary cooperative banks. These all are the types of cooperative banks. And land development bank, the main function of this type of bank is to provide loan on security of land. These banks provide long-term loans. The main objective of These loans are to purchase tractors, land improvement, payment of old debts, etc. These are of two types: the State Land Development Bank, the Primary Land Development Bank. Next we have the Regional Rural Bank. These banks were established in 1975 to enhance the banking facility in rural areas. In these banks, features of commercial and cooperative banks are found. These banks are sponsored by some commercial banks. Their total capital 50% is provided by central government, 35% by commercial bank concerned, 15% by state government concerned. The main function performed by these banks are to provide loans to small traders, small farmers, and for development of agricultural activities. In the list of other apex banking institutions, the first one is Central Bank. Central Bank is the apex bank of banking structure of a country. It plays an important role in any country's monetary and banking system. Reserve Bank of India is the central bank. The main function of this bank is to maintain the economic stability of the country and in reference to underdeveloped countries. Its main function is to make possible the works of economic development. This bank issues currency, controls other banks, and works as a bank of government. In this list, as apex banking institutions, the second we have the Export and Import Bank of India. This was established to expand the foreign trade. The main objective of this bank was to provide assistance to traders engaged in import and export. Next we have the National Housing Bank. The main objective of establishing the bank was to provide housing loan to the general public. Next we have Industrial Reconstruction Bank of India. The main objective of this bank is to rehabilitate the industries. And further, and at the last, we have the National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. The main objective of establishing this bank is to develop agriculture and rural areas. So these are the different categories of banks we have.